Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Tuesday morning. In this video, we've got Lauren Bushnell talking with Page6.com. Talks about hitting rock bottom after her breakup with Bachelor Ben Higgins. As we know, there's been some sort of weird, final destination between that couple where they had a rocky breakup. They both found their happiness, but they're both probably in therapy afterwards. I mean, who wouldn't after going on the show? Ben was torn to pieces. He's talked about his past with addiction, and of course, she mentions that they just weren't as compatible as people thought, but they had a TV show about happily ever after and all that. Speaking of being happily ever after, happily follow me on Instagram at DNeals right down there for my stand-up show updates. Today, Tuesday, I'll be doing a show in Santa Barbara. That means a long drive for me. Come enjoy a glass of rosé at a brewery, rosé, a beer, whatever, an IPA, either way. Come check that out. Patreon live stream starts at 10 a.m. today, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Okay, let's do it. Excuse me. And by the way, I'm toning down my Bachelor content during the off-season when there isn't much to talk about. And almost all of my content is being shuffled to The Dave Neal Show, which is about to hit 13,000 subscribers. I've got all the Johnny Depp updates. I'm also going to be making a video later today about the UFO trial. Not trial, but there's a hearing about the UFOs happening within the U.S. government right now. So it's been a wild month. We hit 1 million new views on the Dave Neal Show, so thank you guys all so much for that. But I'm not leaving you guys. No, don't worry. I'm not leaving you. No need to divorce me. We're still here, but if there isn't much content, I'm going to do my best to scrape that barrel, but I got other barrels I need scraping. All right, Lauren Bushnell, I hit rock bottom, and let's just watch some of this interview rather than reading it. Show, don't say, they tell you.
Everything that you've experienced in the past, 5, 6, 7 years, going on the most popular dating reality show of all time, winning that show, going through a public breakup, falling in love with a country music superstar, having a baby. What would your younger self say to all that?
I mean, I don't know if I would have fully believed you.
Terrible audio.
I think I actually tell Chris this all the time because when we first met, we were just friends for years, 4 years. I think we were just acquaintances / friends. In fact, I tried to set him up with a few of my friends. And I always tell him, I'm like, if you would have told me that we would have ended up married with a baby, living in Nashville, Tennessee, I never would have believed you.
Listen, you got to give short guys a chance, right? What is he, about 5'7", plays good. He's a rock star. Give the short guys a chance. You had Ben Higgins. No offense to Ben. He's 6'1". He's looking good in photos. But the short guys work harder for it.
It's just kind of crazy how if you're just open to it and you say yes, how life can just kind of lead you to where you're supposed to be. And I feel like the show was one of those things. I was a flight attendant at the time and I got the opportunity to go on the show, which was very out of my comfort zone and out of my, just unlike me, to be honest. I loved being a flight attendant and I was like, wait, I don't really need to do this. I get to travel already. Why should I do this, But thankfully said yes and had a great experience. Hard, some parts of it were hard, like you mentioned, a public breakup, but
so if anyone's wondering why she's doing this interview now, she's got some promo she's doing, which we all, I support. When you're an influencer, you got a promo to do, you need to stack your numbers, give a little bit of tea to the old, throw some chum out there to the sharks.
It all worked out and definitely led me to where I am today, so very thankful.
Now, from going on The Bachelor to marrying Chris to building a massive social media following, you must be
she basically has it all except a good microphone.
Used to life in the spotlight at this point. Would you ever consider returning to reality TV, Lauren?
My gut says, I don't see that in my future, but it also, we talked about earlier, if you would have told me that I would have gone on The Bachelor in the first place, or if you would have told me that I would have ended up marrying Chris and having babies, I would have been like, no, you're crazy. So never say never.
True.
But right now, I'm thoroughly enjoying hanging out with Dutton. And
she's like, I'm thoroughly enjoying not having to deal with all of my moves being overanalyzed by a rabid and obnoxious and a toxic Bachelor Nation. That's what she's saying. Look, you go on the show because you have to. Like Demi Burnett says, I'll never go back on Bachelor in Paradise, but if her follower count dipped to a level where she needed the cash, you need the cash. We've all got jobs. Everyone was mad at Tammy, right? Tammy goes, I'm quitting Bachelor. And then she didn't quit. And everyone's like, I thought you said you were going to quit. And it's like, Haven't you ever said you're going to quit your job that you hate, but you decide you still need it because it works for you? Do what's best for you, boo. If you need to go back on the show, or if Lauren and, Chris want to go on Naked and Afraid together, and I want to pay for the premium version where I get to see Chris Lane naked, then so be it. Does that exist? We're all got a thing for country stars, folks. Okay.
And getting to be like full mom mode, especially because he is changing so fast and growing so fast. But you never.
I like Lauren. I support her. She's just got the personality type that doesn't always show off who she is on camera, kind of like Ari's Lauren, right? Separate Laurens. They're just not overly like JoJo-y, like, which is fine. That works out very well. It just doesn't always translate on camera.
I don't know. I think it would have to be a very particular situation.
She's got that mom hip. Moms are so good at turning a hip into a seat, right? She's like, here, sit here. Boom, just gonna hold like 1,000 pounds. Get the energy of a mom. Moms have great arms too. The arms you get from, holding your child. That's just like God's way of saying, we'll keep you in shape. This thing's 50 pounds.
Because as I've grown, I've learned to appreciate our privacy a little bit.
This background music's horrible though.
On social media, I can control that. Like I get to decide when or where, what days, and then I also get to decide when we turn our phone off or when we're just as a family. So it would have to be a very particular situation, but yes, never say never. I don't know, maybe.
How do you reflect on your experience filming Happily Ever After? That show was so interesting because I think it was the first and only.
So this is the show that she did with Ben after their relationship ended on TV. So they were still they're still together, but the Bachelor had ended. They had their own spinoff. Obviously, they break up after that.
Only time a Bachelor couple ever got a reality TV spinoff within the ABC family.
Which is why Colton tried to get one tracking device under the car, personal restraining, temporary restraining order, comes out of the closet, Netflix. Now he's on a Survivor bootleg show.
I mean, looking back, I don't think it was like the best idea to do because I feel like at that point in time, I don't know if I had vocalized it, but I was definitely still processing a lot of just what happened, and not just in the relationship that I was having doubts about, but also just this new life that I wasn't used to. I mean, I had made a move to a different state. My life was all of a sudden really public, something that I didn't know how to necessarily handle. There was a lot of criticism involved and, things that I just wasn't used to. So probably wasn't necessarily the best idea considering that the foundation was rocky already, and not just in the relationship, like I said, but just me personally, my own mental health. Looking back, it was not the best idea, but again, I don't know, had we not done that, who knows? Obviously everything happens for a reason.
I really love her karmatic look at it. She goes, look, was I in the right headspace? No. But if we didn't do that, who knows what would have happened next? Maybe she'd be working for Delta still. No offense to Delta. I would love to have separate lives where I could do this. This is what I would like to do. Just, just separate journeys, because you can't do it all. I'd love a life where I'm a professional full-time lifeguard. Yeah, that's right. Into my 30s, leathery skin, sitting out in the sun, saving lives. I'd love a life where I'm a flight attendant. Yeah, hand some peanuts out to people. Next thing you know, you're in Ibiza with glow sticks. Okay, there's different worlds I want. Somehow I'm stuck in the reality where I'm a power recapper. Luckily, I'm killing it.
But yeah, that was an interesting. I enjoyed my time on The Bachelor more than I enjoyed doing that show.
Yeah, too much focus on the two of you, you think?
I think that's what it is. I don't think I'm comfortable being the center of I don't necessarily like all eyes on me. I'm even when Chris will sometimes bring me out on stage, and clearly he thrives on stage.
Wow.
He loves it. That is his happy place. He loves performing. I, on the other hand, am much more comfortable on the side of the stage.
And good for them to know that. She knows he loves the attention, the energy, the big thing, and she likes to be on the side. That's good. That's good that they know where their zone and happy place is.
No one can see me, and I just get to cheer him on, and I just get kind of awkward and uncomfortable whenever he pulls me on stage. So it's just kind of already just not my personality. So yeah, that was definitely challenging. I was more comfortable on a setting like The Bachelor, where you're one of 20 or 25
Let's
women
skip ahead.
in Real. So if he hadn't reached out, I would not have been upset at all. But obviously the courtesy of that and just the heads up in general, like no one likes to be surprised with stuff like that. So I definitely appreciated it. And I feel like our conversations, obviously few and far between, they've always been very cordial and nice. And I don't think either of us have ever like wished the other person ill will at all, which, I mean, obviously I've had relationships that ended that did not, end well and didn't have that same level of respect for each other. So I do appreciate that he has been like that and thought of me in a situation like that when he didn't have to necessarily.
Ben and Lauren, amicable breakup.
What he wrote.
I didn't read the book. I just read, he sent me like the little part that I was mentioned in, which was actually a very small part of the story, but
Alone
it is a piece
in
of
plain
his
sight.
story and of his
Searching for connection.
his life, and so it made sense that it was in there. But I'm glad that the focus of his book in general wasn't just like all about our relationship. I think that would have maybe been like a little weirder or whatever. But yeah, it was just a small piece, but it made sense that he included it because it obviously was a big part in both of our stories.
Although it was a brief part of his book, he mentioned the reasons why he believes you guys ultimately split up. In your own words, why do you think you and Ben didn't work out in the end?
I mean, honestly, I don't think that we were...
The dick wasn't good.
I don't think from the get-go we were super
Barrel
compatible.
scraping day.
Like, I think looking back, you don't...
We're buffering. I just killed the internet. Oh, I'm sure the dick was great. I'm sure that wasn't the issue there, old Benny boy. All right.
core values, but I think just like personality-wise, I don't think we were super compatible. And that's just... I don't even think it had anything to do with the show or the spotlight or anything like that. But then also, yeah, I think I was young. I think I was 24. I think I needed to do a lot of reflecting on myself.
That's
and
young.
I had a lot of growing to do. I was, I kind of had like this path laid out for me all of high school. And then it's like you go to college. And then I kind of was at that point in my life where I was finally at a stage where I was able to reflect and figure out who I was. But I hadn't quite gotten there yet. So I'm glad that
She's still young.
I was able to take the time to get there.
What is she,
And I think
27,
that's why
28?
the timing ultimately was right when it came to me and Chris. Like
I got baseball cleats older than you.
I felt confident in who I was. I knew what I wanted and all those
Whoa,
things. So I think
sexy.
timing was a big part of it.
Good looking
I'm
couple.
curious to know if you were ever approached about being the Bachelorette after your breakup with Ben, and would you have done it?
I was not approached. In fact,
Like we said earlier, she just doesn't have the personality type that would stretch that big, but which is totally not a dig.
why don't you, do you not like the show or do you hate it? And I'm like, no, I just never was asked
Introspective.
to be a part of stuff, which was fine. I didn't take it personally. In fact, that actually was kind of what I needed at that time. I needed some space. But I was not asked. And would I have done it?
No.
I don't think I would have. I think I was really in a low place. Like I think I was kind of at that rock bottom place.
Lauren's got friends in low places where the whiskey flows and the bears dacing my blues away, and I feel okay.
Which I needed to get there, I think, in order to kind of
got
reflect
friends.
and figure out who I was and what I wanted. And I'm very thankful that I was not asked, because maybe I would have said yes and not known it, and then I don't think it would have had a good outcome.
All right, fantastic interview. So there she is. She's over. I mean, look, hey, she sounds like she's very, very well adjusted. I mean, she's living that rock star life with her buddy, her guy, Chris Lane. No relation to Neal Lane, as far as I know. Although, who knows? Maybe he still gets that old Lane discount. Stay in your lane. Let me know what you guys think. We have a Patreon happening today, 10 a.m., patreon.com/Dave Neal. Appreciate all of your support over there on Dave Neal Show. Go check out the Johnny Depp videos. I'll be releasing those. Lots more to come, folks. We'll talk to you in a little bit. See you in Santa Barbara tonight. Go to my Instagram @DNeals to see information on that free show. All right, bye, everybody.